What's up, Sliders? Welcome to the Dmpod. This is your host, Darian. This is
Matthew.
And today we're doing a movie review about Girl vs. Monster. It's part of our Spooktober, Monstober, whatever the fuck it's called, podcast.
Hope that's rated R now.
Yeah, it's alright. It don't really matter. They won't catch it. We're not up to subscribers like that. Yet, obviously. We're pretty good Cowboys fans. We don't, this was recorded before the Sunday. I think this will be before the Sunday, before week 5, but before week 5, but this will be uploaded
After
before week 6. Before week 6.
Before week 6.
Before. It should be before. Oh no, it'll be after. It might be week 7. I don't even know.
Week 7, yeah.
But it don't really matter. We watched a terrible Colts game. At least I did. How you feeling, Matt? Feeling good today?
Yeah, real good.
Okay, so let's do a small review on, because it's not really a spoiler for this movie, because it's a Disney movie that was made in...
There's spoilers.
This was made in, what, 2009, 2008?
Yeah, around that
time. I don't have the exact date.
2007, maybe?
I was trying to look for background footage, because that's how I go with it.
No, it would be 2012. It's a little newer.
Oh, okay, yeah, but I tried to look for background footage. There's not really much. There's only like 1-minute clips off of like their Spooktober thing. All she really says, "Oh, I enjoy it. It's a fun role." She probably just had that role, and they're like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And she probably was like, "Yeah, let me take it because I need money." Maybe there's not really a.
I like money.
There wasn't really a background footage. I'd like to know like at least the makeup behind their costumes or where they did the set. And there's not really anything on it because I don't even think it got like a DVD release. I think it was just streaming service and that's it. So yeah, but
what streaming service did they have back in the day?
No, they didn't have no streaming service. They didn't. They would just put it out probably every Monstober or whatever.
Oh, on the TV.
Yeah.
Cable. Yeah, I forgot about cable.
Yeah. So I don't think this movie really got much traction. So I don't really know why we're doing it. What is one reason why we're doing it?
Yeah.
Luke Benworth.
Debatable.
Luke Benworth. So if we had to do a small review, there's other movies to watch.
No, this is a really good movie. You should definitely give it a watch.
I think it's on Disney Plus. The good thing, it's free. That's all I'm saying. Don't go out of your way unless you really like Luke Benworth and you really want to hear him singing. Just go to the 4-minute clips on YouTube. Still listen to this podcast so you can hear a plot synopsis but not actually watch it. Yeah, that's my review. A small review of it. Would you pay money for this?
Oh, for sure.
You'd buy on Blu-ray?
Yeah, $14.99. I'll buy all 3, digital, Blu-ray, and regular.
Totally.
Yeah. I'd probably pay a little more. Probably $19.99.
$19.99?
Yeah.
I'd pay a solid $1. Okay.
I'll give them an extra penny. I'll make it a flat 20.
Okay. Well, so that's the small review. Watch it if you feel like hearing Luke Benworth sing. If you even know who Luke Benworth is.
Benword.
By the way, this movie is starring Olivia Holt and Luke Benworth. Though are really the main 2 characters in this movie. Everybody else, I don't really know who they are. I kind of forgot their names already.
Yeah. They weren't important.
They weren't important. You want to go ahead and get started, Matt?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
The cool opening shot, right?
It's okay, cool. Okay, it's like a basic graveyard area, right? And then we hear we see a gargoyle.
Yeah, so before we get into it, this budget for this movie is probably pretty low. Because it's like styrofoam freaking graveyard, little headstone.
The only thing it has going for is it's on Halloween, right?
Yeah.
So you can kind of be like, oh yeah. But it's weird because their school is like in a graveyard area. But I feel like they had the house and the school is the same place.
Yeah.
It's not really shown like that. But it kind of looks like it was shot in the same area.
It's like a town of 3 places: a graveyard, a school, and a house.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure most of the background was set on a studio, and maybe it was filmed in an actual house. But they're like, oh yeah, we're at the school, but it's the same exact place, you know?
Yeah,
it's the same exact place. But okay, we
go
get
back to that cool opening shot.
Yeah, we get it's like ominous music, and then what is it?
You see like concrete gargoyles and humans
and then it goes to we go to the
inside of the school.
Inside. Mm-hmm.
And there's a band playing on
the Black Beats. The Black Beats is Luke Benworth's band.
The little band playing, and then you have it focuses on them, and then you have the Sky, Sadie, and let's think of the boy's name. Dylan, Frank.
It's
Jim?
Frank. We'll just call him Frank.
Frank.
We'll call him Frank till we look at our notes and we figure out his actual name.
So
he's a little crybaby boy.
Yeah. So Sky, Dylan, Sky, Frank, and Sadie are standing right there. Sky's like, they're eating like cupcakes or something. It's like a little
Yeah,
party.
they're getting ready. They're all helping out for the
Getting ready for the party.
Yeah, getting ready for.
One was eating a
No, it's
cupcake,
for the
though.
school party, but I guess the school party is in the. Oh, that makes more sense. The school party is in that place. No, I don't get. No, they're in the school, but I guess they're doing like a. It's kind of like in plays where you do or choir where you do practice before.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's just a practice before they go to the house and do an actual party. But I guess the school's letting them run it.
Yeah.
guess.
A little.
I guess
rehearsal.
it's
yeah.
you kind of have to jump through hoops through this movie, which I'll
like most
talk-
movies.
yeah, but this one, yeah. I mean, don't worry, I only had to jump through a lot. So, then it cuts to he's like, it's Olivia, right? And he's like telling
Yeah.
he's like, Olivia, you want to come and sing?
Yeah. Well, no. First he goes that sign. We need to fix the sign.
Mhm.
So Luke Benward was expecting somebody to get like a ladder or something. To go
Mhm.
fix it. And Sky's like, I got it. So she goes like, give me a hand up or something.
Yeah, and then he gives her a little hand up, and she goes and jumps and fixes the sign.
Does a like flip, freaking front flip roll.
I wonder if she did that for her own scenes because she wasn't kicking it a lot of her
I think she did.
of her young life. So they could have used her as a stunt performer. But and then she fixes the sign, right?
Yeah, and everybody claps. Like,
And he's like Luke Benward if he bites his lip, like, oh, how long did that take? And she was like 6.5.
yeah.
It was supposed to be executed well.
Yeah,
It was
how many years of gymnastics did that take? 6.5.
terrible. Well, granted, this was made for like 12-year-olds.
Maybe.
Yes.
So Luke Benward's like, so Sky, why don't you sing with us before you go?
Yeah,
Because Sky's like, I gotta go.
and it's weird later on because Luke's like, he talks about in later scenes, which we'll get to. Luke's like nervous to sing with her, but here he's like, yeah, Sky, come and sing with me.
He didn't sing though.
Yeah.
In this scene, he didn't sing. It was only Sky.
Oh yeah, you're
'Cause
right.
she's singing, I just wanna scream out loud. That's Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now.
Yeah, it's nothing gonna stop me now for this song.
Yeah. For this
It has left to be desired.
this is probably the second best song in the movie.
There's only like 4 songs in the movie.
The second best song in the movie.
Oh, actually, it's not even.
Well, they sing it twice.
Did she sing at the end too?
Yeah, she sings it
Okay.
twice.
I was trying to remember what that last song was. I think there's actually only 3.
Yeah, because they sing Had Me at Hello like 3 different times.
They sing it 3 times with 3 different singers.
3 different singers.
Yeah,
We're getting too deep.
we're getting too deep into the music.
Yeah.
The music's probably the best part of this movie. Kind of like with every other Disney movie,
Yeah.
but this one's executed, what's to say, monstery.
Monster.
And
Halloween-y.
then the next thing that happens, Matt.
Yeah, so they're walking outside the school, or.
Oh yeah,
I'm assuming it's the school.
they walk out to school. Yeah, they say
Yeah.
it's the school. They walk out to school, and I noticed, Matt. Actually no, that's later on. Sorry. So yeah,
So they see so Sadie's like, I'm scared. I don't know how you can walk through this cemetery.
and then
basically."
she says a line like, she's like, fuck, what'd she say? She says something like, oh, someone's gonna jump out, and then she does like a little thingy, and it frightens her.
Yeah, it frightens her.
And then it cuts to the top, and like this shoddy. Actually, no, this is probably like the best CGI of the movie. And that's saying a lot because the CGI is terrible. You kind of once you get used to it, you get used to it. But it was made 10 years ago. I'm pretty sure if it was made now, I've never seen zombies. I think that's like the new thing nowadays.
Yeah,
Because legit, when I was working, I saw some kid like they're talking about he wants to be this guy, and he was talking about this zombies movie. I guess from Zombies 3. He's like he wants to be this guy from the movie, and the parent knew what they were talking about, like the character itself. So.
Yeah, I've seen the first one.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, and so
Yeah,
they're like,
I-
he was like, he wants to be him for it, and I was like, oh, okay, so, maybe the CGI is better in Zombies 3. But I
Probably
never-
not. I've seen Descendants. It wasn't too good in that. So.
Yeah, so I doubt it. They don't really put a lot of
Yeah.
budget in CGI. Granted, again, it's like kids watching it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we see the gargoyle, and he turns his head, right?
Yeah.
And then,
It starts flying.
mm-hmm.
Or flying around above them though.
And then we see some 2 dumbasses in welder masks, welder mask, and it's they capture it, and then they flip their heads or they flip their welder
Shields
masks. Yeah, because they're in welder masks with like neo long coat jackets, and they're saying, man, they're coming out early. They shouldn't have come out this early,
Yeah.
and we don't know who they are yet. And then we cut to the next scene, right?
Yeah, and it's Sky's in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, this guy's in the kitchen. They're talking about, and their mother's talking about garlic because she
Yeah.
always talk about garlic. She's she's talking about the party. She's like, yeah, you should be getting garlic to be safe. And she's like, from who? My breath or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she throws away the toast because she made garlic toast for her. And then what we have there is the mom's talking, and she's saying if I can go to the party, and she's like, why do you want to go to the party? Like it's Halloween, because she's saying we're gonna be out for the what's the word, the mold company, because they work at they actually do work at a mold company. That's like their full-time job.
Yeah.
They work at a mold company, and they're talking about how they do the event every year on Halloween to disguise that they're like monster hunters, or ghost hunters per se. And then when she's talking about the thingy, she tells she's like, that's unfair. And she's like, when are you gonna do it? She's like, when you're 16, because I guess it's a big thing in their family lineage. Once you turn 16, you can become a monster hunter, because this is when they were kind of revealed that they're monster hunters. And then she's like, how about I ask Dad? And she goes downstairs to Dad, right?
Yeah.
In the basement.
Yeah, so she runs down to the basement. She's like, hey, Dad, can I go to the party? And he goes, oh, yeah, sure, honey. And then
She's like, you're the best.
The mom comes down the stairs and goes, you know the party's tonight. He goes, oh, no, you can't go, honey.
I'm sorry, you can't. It's just, you gotta wait till you're 16, because 16, I guess, is like the year. They say later on.
You get initiated.
That's when they let you become a monster hunter. So I guess like you can start getting your learner's permit to become a monster hunter. And then after that, we go to school, right?
Yeah. So you see Sky and Henry walking down the little walkway, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's just Sky. And then Henry comes out with a mask and and then tries to scare her, and she's like, that didn't work. Yeah, and you get and it's a little jump scare. It's like one of the only jumps. It's the only jump scare.
It's a jump scare, but it didn't
it's not supposed to scare you.
She did not flinch at all.
Yeah, because she has no fear. It's established in the movie that she has no fear, which we'll learn later on why she has no fear.
Yeah.
And then
another jump scare.
It's another jump scare
immediately after that one.
And it's the bully with even like a werewolf mask. Yeah. And he goes and then Henry screams, and then Olivia's like,
still there, like,
yeah, Olivia's like, whatever, and then Olivia's like, oh, I think you peed your pants, and he looks down to see if he peed his pants, and he's like, you're like, no, that didn't happen. What are you talking about? Because he actually thought he peed his pants, but he didn't, or not this time. So then they go in and they go on the cafeteria, and they're talking to Sadie. Sadie Henry is like he's a scared boy. That's the best way to put it. He's like a 10-year-old scared boy. That's really kind of his character arc.
Like a 5th grade personality type.
Yeah. And Sadie's like this super smart girl, but she also has fear, like normal people. Yeah. And Sadie is talking about. Just talk about Luke. Luke comes up, right?
Yeah, Luke comes. I don't know what they're talking about. Something math. She's studying for the math test.
Oh yeah.
And she's like,
talk about. And then she's like, "Why are you scared?"
Yeah, why are you scared? Basically, it's proven farther that Skylar has no fear. And
then Luke comes up and he's talking about the party, and he's saying like, you want to come, like, and he's kind of nervous about it, and then Myra comes up, and Myra's like, hey Luke, why are you talking to them? We gotta go. You're gonna come to the party, basically. Yeah. Because he's inviting Sky to a practice because they're gonna sing later.
Yeah, he goes, you should stop by later. Come rehearse.
Yeah, come see us rehearse.
Yeah, come see us rehearse.
And Myra's like, I don't know what your MO is, but stay away from Luke. She's not like rude about it, but she's just saying like don't try to like I don't know what you're playing. She really says there really is no plan, because it's not like Sky's trying to take him from her because they're not dating. Yeah. But she's also not. Sky has no agenda. Myra just thinks she has an agenda because Luke's has the eyes for her. Yeah. Or
keeps inviting
Ryan has the eyes for her. Ryan's Luke's name, or Luke's Ryan's name. Yeah. And then Sadie's like talking. Sadie's like, so how you gonna get to the party, right? And then Sadie's also like, she says, so why didn't Luke ask me out? Sadie's saying like, oh, he sort of likes you, he would ask you out, and she's like, why doesn't he? Because it's fear. Like, I'd be like, he's scared to ask you. And she's like, why would he be scared to ask me? Because people experience fear, Sky. Like, that's the whole MO. Because Luke Benworth is scared to ask somebody out. That's crazy to even think about, Matt. Yeah. And then after that, we cut to the hallway, right?
Yeah, when they're upstairs. Mm-hmm. And that sign's cricket again.
Yeah, it's a different sign, though.
A different sign.
And it's talking about the Haunted Mansion, and Myra's like, the sign's cricket, and my name's too small, because it is comically small. It's like that monster right there, and that's in the frame's the whole size. It's very small in there. And then
She goes, I'll fix it. Hand up.
and he's like, and then Luke's like, oh, I can go get Sky to help us because Sky fixed the sign earlier.
Yeah.
Again, which is dangerous, Luke. I know she just fixed it and did like that athletic feat, but like the stairs are going down. It's not like it's going up. And Luke, you should still get a ladder. You shouldn't have Sky do that because last time it was on flat surface. This time it's going down. Like the stairs are going down.
Sky's athletic. She could fly.
She would have to like do a tuck and roll and hope she doesn't break anything.
Yeah, well, you saw it in the first one. She can do the tuck and roll.
Yeah, but that was on a flat surface, not on a.
She can do it down the stairs.
A de-escalated
You
stair.
gotta keep it going this time.
And then
Do you run to the wall?
and he's like, I don't feel. And then like one of his friends or his bandmates like, I don't feel like asking him for the ladder again. And so Myra's like, nah, don't ask. I'll do it myself. And then right, Myra, Luke has his hands this time, and Myra tries to jump up, and I'm definitely a stunt double. I don't even have to look this one to tell because there's no way in hell Myra's doing that stunt.
No.
Myra jumps up, and does she fix it?
No.
She misses completely.
No, she grabs it. She pulls the whole sign down. She never let go.
And then Myra falls.
She's wrapped up in the. Does she get wrapped up in the sign? I can't remember.
I think I think so, or at least the top part of her. Either way, Myra falls on her ass. That's what happened in my notes, and that's what actually happens. Myra falls on her ass, and she's like, I'm hurt. And then I think this cuts after that.
Yeah, it cuts. It cuts back to Sky walking to the party, or the rehearsal.
The rehearsal, yeah.
The rehearsal.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, Sky. You want to go ahead and lead this one up?
Yeah. So Sky walks up.
Actually, before that, we see a pup. We see another monster. It's like what is it? It's not a corgi. It's definitely not a corgi. I always say a corgi. It was like it's a typical dog. I don't. We'll have it in the edit. You'll see the dog. But when we see it, it's a little pup, and then like a CGI face, like it expands bigger, like we're playing fucking Bowser's. What is it? What is a air balloon game?
Yeah.
So his face pops up, and then they get him again. They're saying, "Why are they coming out so quick?" Because the welder people come in, and they have this. They have the car. The parents, the welder people. They see a sign that says, I know their van. It's called Mode.co. And what I was thinking later on, Matt, right? They drive around that van throughout the city. Sky lives in that place. If Sky saw the van driving around, not this year, the year before that, the year before that, the year before that, if Sky saw that, wouldn't she make an assumption my parents are not in town? Because that van is there in the house. You know what I'm saying, Matt?
Yeah.
So
Unless you keep it at work.
no, because no, it's at the house. They drive out from the section. She sees by when they're driving out in the Mode.co area. And then they drive the Mode.co
I remember that.
van. I remember it because I just watched it like
I know
3
you
hours ago.
work vans. You leave them at work.
No, they have the Mode.co on the van, and they.
Yeah. It could be a work vehicle.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is when they say they're going to the convention. Remember?
Yeah.
But they're driving into town. So wouldn't Olivia put 2 and 2 together if she saw the Mode.co van driving around the city? Wouldn't she be like, well, they're here. They're not at the thingy. Wouldn't you be a little suspicious? It's kind of a little plot hole that's in the movie, but you kind of you breeze by it.
Yeah, I've only seen it.
I think you have your head training in here, but it definitely happens, Matt. I promise. So it's for me. It's like, okay, why they have this? Like it'd be different if this is a regular van. No, it says Mode.co in it. So
there could be multiple vans though.
no,
It's a company.
It's the same van though.
Yeah, but you don't know that. You don't know if there's more coworkers out there that drive.
That's their parents' van.
It's like when you see a freaking Spectrum truck. You see one there. You
Oh,
see
yeah,
one there. You see one there. You see one.
Okay, I guess I can give you that. Maybe there's multiple Mode.co's in this area of scientists.
You see Spectrum truck.
Mhm.
Little Caesars delivery drivers. You see one there.
I'm glad you gave this. I'm glad you are very enthusiastic about this,
Yeah,
giving them the benefit of the doubt.
It's not benefit. I mean, you see it all the time.
Yeah. So then we cut to, like you said, to Olivia. We see Olivia walking, and it's kind of like a garage area. It's kind of weird where the place is. It kind of reminds me of Euphoria's. Nowhere near the same area, but Euphoria, there's like sometimes they just walk and it's just full of houses on one big lane, and that's kind of what Olivia's walking through right now.
A bunch of leaves on the ground.
Yeah,
So
and
you can tell it's like probably Halloween time.
fall at least.
Fall, yeah.
Yeah. And you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So you hear before all that happens, you hear like drumming, like
Your guitar strumming. Your guitar
yeah,
strumming.
guitar strumming, like boom, 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 boom.
And then the best part of the movie, easily, I think 10 times the best part of the movie, we see Luke Benworth singing "Had Me at Hello."
Yeah, you hear Luke Benworth singing a worse version of "Have Me at Hello."
You had me at hello.
I think I heard it had me at a low at least 30,000 times, and probably more after this. It's easily the best song in this movie. The reason you should watch this movie.
When Olivia sings it, not when Luke Benward sings it.
Okay, whatever you say, Matt. We'll
Olivia sings it more pop. It depends what you like. More of an acoustic version, you go with Luke Benward. If you like a little pop upbeat, you go with Skies, Olivia's. If
you want a more better version, you listen to Luke Benward.
Better version's the upbeat, fast paced, energetic.
Totally. Anyways, Luke Benward singing the song, and then and she finishes singing. He only goes like a minute and had me at a low, and then Olivia walks in. And then he gets nervous, right?
Yeah.
Close your mouth now, baby, don't say a word.
Alright, cut.
Yeah, he just stops. He's like, okay, that's it. We're done.
Yeah. Olivia has the audacity to be like, oh, you did so good. He's like, I don't think so. Like, oh, no. He goes, what does he say, Matt? He says, it sucks, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you talking about? That was great. It's like, for real, Like, Luke Benward is so
Basically,
plain.
the roles are reversed. Usually a guy would have to tell a girl that, like, oh, you're pretty. No, I'm not. I'm ugly. No, you're really pretty.
Luke Benworth is so freaking not catfishing. What's the word where you like try to reel him in?
Yeah.
That's basically what he's doing. He's like, he's fishing for compliments. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He fished for compliments heavy there. And then Olivia has the audacity to be like, where's Myra at? And then she's sitting right there. You see her in the opening shot. She has like this neck brace on and like her mouth it shows all her teeth because she got injured and like her neck is just a brace on in the neck and she's watching the show. Probably shouldn't be being even out of the house when you just got injured the day of or day before, one of the two. And what is it, Olivia? He's asking Olivia, right?
Yeah. He goes, we need a new performer. Myra's out. So you think
Oh yeah, no.
You think you can perform?
Yeah, he's like, Myra has a great suggestion that you can perform because she can't speak.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, but you can't.
I can't. My parents won't let me out the house.
I was talking about Myra, but both. She don't say that
both
at all.
Both can.
She don't say that at all.
She does. She goes, I can't. He goes.
Oh yeah, she tries to say it, but then he stops her.
And then he's like, please, Sky, please, like begging.
Mm.
And then she goes, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah. And Myra's like, she puts her hands down.
And you little grunt though.
Yeah, and
that's all she can do.
Mm-hmm. And then I think we head back to the house, right?
The house, yeah.
And then they're leaving. They're saying, let's go ahead and leave.
They're going to the mold convention.
Yeah, you can stay with
Cobb, Uncle
Cobb. Yeah, because she goes down to the lab, I think, again, and we meet Uncle Cobb, and they talk about. She just says like a line like, "Don't touch that unless you want acne forever."
Yeah.
That happens somewhere in there. It's somewhere in the beginning scene.
Yeah.
I just felt like I'd mention it. I didn't think it was funny, but it was definitely a joke they had. But they go ahead and leave, and Sky's thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get." She calls, I think, Sadie, right?
Yes, call Sadie.
She calls Sadie, says, "I'm gonna get out of here," and she's like, "How? Like your parents been?"
Be outside in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what she says exactly. And
then so she goes,
Uncle Cobb's playing Jenga by himself, and he's like, "This would be funner if we had two people." Uncle Cobb's just like, and I think he says like, "Am I getting paid more for this?" And the dad's like, "Nah, what are you talking about? It's the same amount. We don't even get paid for this. Yeah, we don't even get paid for this."
And then she goes downstairs. You see Uncle Cobb on the table playing Jenga. He's all like you said, this would be fun with two.
Yeah,
people.
because they actually locked the area. And earlier we saw one of the monsters get captured, and they're trying to push out. And what I don't get, Matt, I'm talking about it. I'll bring this up now. But when I'm watching it, right, they say oh yeah, this is it's like a interesting Halloween because the monsters are more powerful, or they're coming out earlier than usual, right? But if Olivia never pulled that lever, none of the monsters would have came out, and it would have just been a normal night. So I don't get why that plot was brought up earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Because there's more people getting born, so maybe there's more people getting born, so there's more monsters. Because the monsters are based off people's fears, so if that year, for some reason, there was a lot more babies.
There's a lot more.
I think 2012 area, that was right after the financial crisis of 2007, 2008. So
yeah, they totally were like, that's right. This was supposed to be made in the baby boomers.
Yeah, the baby boomers. So you don't know. There could have been a lot more kids, so there's a lot more monsters.
Totally.
A lot more fear. That's my
Yeah,
take of it.
that's totally what happened. Totally not. They wrote this before and then wrote it
Oh,
afterwards.
man, it was definitely what I said.
Because it doesn't make any sense. Because it would
It
make
makes
more.
a lot of
It would make more sense if they're like, man, there's so many more monsters out after her monster comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know how the newer generation is, right? They're more feisty, so like, man, they gotta get out earlier. They gotta go out there and steal that fear quicker.
Totally,
And more
totally.
people are getting more and more scared because that's how it makes the monsters bigger. So
Yeah, you're right.
that's my take on it.
So Olivia goes down and she pulls the lever to stop the thingy,
To
and
turn off
then
the power.
and for some reason the monster generator thing they got is
You know what I don't get? They have the lock, right? It's just a security system. You can still open the door. All someone do set off the security system.
Yeah, I know. We saw a kid do it like the day before.
Yeah.
Not the day before, the week before.
Yeah. You can just.
Yeah, all you gotta do is use a.
What the parents gonna do?
All you gotta
Right
do is
there.
call a ghost kid, and you can get that unlocked in ASAP.
Yeah. What you gonna? What are they gonna do? They ain't there. And you can still sneak out the house.
Yeah, no.
Just the alarm system
Like, what is he
going
gonna do?
off.
What is he gonna do? Grab you?
Yeah, Uncle Cobb. Yeah.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah, she pulls the lever, and you can tell this was laid on set too. Like, the house might be a real house, but for sure that bottom area is a set because they're in there a lot. It's not an actual basement. It's all right though. It was
It's
probably
an
easy.
actual
It was probably no. It's 100%. You can tell, Matt. Every shot that's not an actual basement. I could put $8 million on that, and it's probably more than that budget. But she pulls the lever, and then
See a bunch of all these like, you know, them things that people keep running on the football fields with.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Like,
Or
there's a bunch of,
like that streaker when Bobby Wagner like punched him in the face.
Yeah,
That
like
exists.
them freaking I don't know what they're called, like spray, like little
Either way,
flares,
it's
little
like
flares.
it's like a bunch of like pink clouds come up.
Yeah, well,
Or like
different
different
color,
color, but it's kind of like the clouds put up. Maybe we'll put like a shot in it,
yeah.
or like
So
a
there's a bunch
picture.
of different streams that come out.
Yeah, and that's kind of like with the Ghost Star because that's their way of making it so it's not hard to CGI it. But for some reason, the big generator that has all the thingies is connected to the power of the house. So it's kind of like a steampunk
That's exactly what it is.
steampunk capture device.
Yeah.
And then you see the face of the villain. I don't even remember her name.
Dmpod.
Oh yeah, it is Dmpod. Dmpod. She kind of looks like the queen from Alice in Wonderland, but like another Alice in Wonderland.
Or one of them girls from the new Hocus Pocus. Oh, Hocus Pocus.
Or Old Pocus, if you want to do it like that.
Well,
No,
I saw her in the new one.
she looks more like a budget version of that. I think she looks more like the queen with a smaller head, the Red Queen.
Either way, she's the evil villain.
Yeah, she's evil. She looks base.
So this is where it gets interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody runs out the house.
Yeah, everybody runs out the house. Like he's like, go, what'd you do? And then you see all these like colorful streaks go flying everywhere. And see, if this is when the parents would have been like, oh, now more monsters are coming out, I'd have been like, oh, that makes sense. But when I was rewatching it, I was like, why are they saying the monsters are coming out right now when nothing has happened yet? You get my point now?
No, because my theory is still correct.
Write down in the comics.
My theory could still be correct.
Baby boomers, that's the reason.
I didn't say baby boomers. I just said
More sex.
Yeah, basically more kids.
Yes, exactly. Totally. So yeah, he comes out and then
they're all standing in the front yard and they're all backed up against the bush and Dmpod comes up to him and goes, "Where are the monster hunters?"
And they're like, and he's like,
"I don't know."
Yeah, I don't know. And then she all flies out.
This is the first time you see her actually scared though.
Yeah, and then she's like, Sadie's
fake crying. This little fake cry she's doing. Yeah.
And Sadie's talking. It's like, what are you feeling? And he's like, that's fear because she's your monster, and you haven't had fear because your monster was captured. Which were the other monsters captured before?
Because this one has that throwback to Mr. McQuarrie.
McCary, yeah.
In the top roof of the attic.
The top roof, the attic, yeah.
The attic of this house,
mm-hmm.
And it's like the fear of the monster became so big it basically killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, okay, so that fear, his monster basically had to move to the next monster hunter.
Yeah,
the next person in the family line.
That was the mom, right?
And that was it was her, Olivia.
Oh yeah, because he was just
like,
trapped there he had her trapped there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparent by the movie's sake. Yeah, she had her trapped forever. Yeah, because she's like a legendary. There's a term that they have here.
Yeah, she's one of the royal. It was some big. She's
she's like one of the older generation monsters that's like very powerful. And then after that, right, he's like, we got to go capture him now. So they head downstairs, and the parents call, right? The parents are like, what's happening? And does he say that Olivia found out yet?
Yeah, he goes, yeah, there might be a little problem.
Olivia knows she's a monster.
All the monsters are out. And they're like, what? Come on. They're like, so they look at their thing, their little monster radar detector.
Yeah, and they see that
just full of dots,
it's
dude.
booming. Yeah, it's booming out. See, again, more of my
But
reason.
this one, though, if you look at it from this before and to now, you can see it's like tripled the amount.
That's what I'm saying. That's a plot hole, because why would they say they're coming out quick, and then now they're really coming out quick.
They're coming out earlier. They didn't say they were coming out quick. They're just coming out earlier.
Okay.
Because they're hungry for that fear.
Man, we're gonna talk about 10 minutes of just us debating this.
They're hungry for that fear, though. You know?
Yeah.
That's why they're coming out earlier.
Yeah.
Because they feed off fear.
They feed off small children.
In my 25-minute synopsis of this movie, I had this question brought up and I answered it perfectly.
Peter's Won't Stop podcast on all Spotify platforms.
Yes, sir.
And so we go and they're talking about he's like, okay, we got to suit you up so you can capture the monsters, and he pulls out this thing. And
she goes, I need to go to that party. She's like denying it. It got annoying to one point because she's denying it so much. It's like, okay, we get it. She doesn't believe it.
Yeah, I know, but he says he's saying like, you need to capture these monsters.
So the parents go and like, yeah, basically you need help capture these monsters. So she's like, okay, fine, I'm going to that party. That's basically all she cares about is getting to that party.
Yeah, like she's denying that this happens. What are you talking about? And then he pulls out the weapons, and it's all the weapons that you see. And he's talking about how this one's a stun gun, this one's but these are the ones you actually have to capture.
Monster sucker sucks it into.
Yeah, there's like it's kind of like a little DS, honestly.
Yeah.
Like a DS or like a little
It's like one of the
CD capture. It's kind of like you could throw a CD in it and like play it like that.
Yeah, one of those.
That's what
I seen a toy like it, right? Where it's like one of the Marvel toys, like a little Captain America maybe.
Yeah, it's something like that.
The little thing pops up, you could. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, either way, you can capture something with it, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And then he's saying like, okay, you need to go capture these monsters, and but they're like, no.
It's an ancient one. She's an ancient one.
Yeah, ancient.
I have it written down.
Yeah.
Too good to look at my notes. So Dmpod an ancient one.
Yeah. Okay. But she's like, well, at least carry these. You're not gonna go. You got to go capture them. She's like, but then Henry tries to leave, and Sky's like, not Sky. Sadie's like, you can't do that. We're here for her, even though we're super scared. And then they're like, okay. So they grab the stuff, and they're at least going to the party.
Yeah, they start heading to the party. And then it shoots back to the parents, and they're at this like parking garage, I guess, and they hear Skylar crying for help.
But, it's Dmpod.
It's Dmpod. That I don't know how she has that kind of power, but she can.
And it's not really established later.
Yeah, she can intimidate Skylar's voice, or create Skylar's voice. So she's like, "Help, Mom, Dad, help!" So they go running up there, and then they get.
And then it's kind of like a little red smoke tornado. That's the best way to put it. And she captures the parents. And then the next time we see them, they're trapped in a attic that we saw earlier. But you'll see that later. And
so
then
they get to the gate.
Yeah, they get to the gate because they're like, we need to head to the party.
And some reason this mansion's through a freaking.
Do a little gate. It's a scary area. Again, it looks like it was filmed probably the same place as the school we saw earlier. But
just from the other side.
Yeah, that's legit. So they're going through here, and then they see a tree. And I remember telling Matt, I was like, hey, that tree looks pretty good. And then it starts moving, and it's like, I hope Matt puts a clip in, but he's like,
it looks like a face.
It looks terrible. No, it looks like a face. It looks good at first, and it starts moving, and it looks so like bad. It looks like out of a PS2 game.
PS2. I mean, this movie, in all fairness, this movie was probably created around the time the PS2 was still the main console.
PS3, but yeah.
PS2.
2013 was PS3.
But it could have been 2011, 2012. Well, I'm just giving a ballpark estimate.
Yeah, but either way, it's still shoddy for the time. I could find better CGI in movies.
I couldn't.
Avengers was made this time.
No. But that tree starts chasing them.
And then it's chasing all of them, and then eventually it chases it's chasing Henry, right?
Yeah.
And eventually, I think it goes to Olivia too. It goes a bunch of places, and then we see the Scarecrow come.
They split up, and it chases one.
Yeah, and then we see the Scarecrow come in, and he gets Henry. He's like, Henry, you scared of me? And Henry's like,
no.
Yeah, definitely. I have Scarecrow comes here. So Scarecrow comes when he's here, and then he's talking to what is it? Cobb, yeah, Cobb. He's talking to Cobb, and it's kind of like a FaceTime. He's just jamming to whatever music he's listening to, and he's like, "Oh, monsters. He's like, you need
It
to
was so
you need to show them that you don't have
They're out
fear.
there panicking because he said he'd be watching over him.
And then this, yeah, and then the scarecrow comes and he what's the word? He goes at Henry and he's like, "You scared of me, Henry?" And he's like, "No, I'm not scared." And then he ends up,
Sky zaps the tree.
yeah, and then
The tree disappeared.
yeah, tree just disappears, but it doesn't. It's never like they captured him. It just tree
Basically,
disappears.
yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't capture it.
But the scarecrow scares Henry and Henry freezes up and then he can't. He's like a statue. He just
Because fear took control of him.
yeah, so he couldn't move at all. And then Cobb comes back because he's like, "Oh yeah."
Because they're hiding behind that tree and they're like, we need to go find
Oh
him.
yeah, Cobb's the one that captures him.
Yeah, Cobb's the one that captures him.
And then Cobb's like, I have to be over there at the lab to come fix it. Y'all need to do something about this. And for some reason, they're still going to the party later on. But Cobb,
somehow Cobb got there
yeah,
extremely quick.
yeah, he got there like he was hauling ass.
Teleportation maybe?
Yeah,
And he rode a monster over.
yeah, he was like, he used one of his
You
teleportation.
see him run with that the wheelbarrow. He's like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, it's with the wheelbarrow too. He goes and he gets. I actually like the scene a little
And he
because
goes ding ding ding.
yeah, because Henry like he's like he has no skin at all, so he captures him. He's frozen. It's kind of like Plankton in SpongeBob in the SpongeBob movie. No, I mean Mr. Krabs in the SpongeBob movie. He captures him, and it's kind of like you can tell it's like a mannequin they have now because it's like a top shot,
Yeah.
and he's like turned around so you can't see any of the body parts. And he moves him over. He's like, I gotta get Henry to get unstuck because they're like, can you get him unstuck? And he's like, yeah, I can get him unstuck. I just have to get back to the lab.
Yeah.
And then after that, what's next?
They keep going.
They keep going.
Yeah. So the parents, right? They're tied up. So it shoots back to the.
Oh yeah, they're just bantering. They're just bantering about like how to get out. He's like, we should have took that garlic. He says we should have took that garlic.
They're basically act like, man, I ain't scared of Dmpod. I ain't scared of her.
Oh, because they ain't. They come to her. And
Yeah,
they're not scared.
So
But what
she
about?
goes, what if I hurt Skylar or
Yeah.
take Skylar or do something?
And I
to
hear
Skylar?
Jack in the Box music because she tries to like use a Jack in the Box music to like scare him, and it doesn't work at all because
It was actually
they've
kinda
been
funny.
Monster Hunter for like 8 million years, so they know what they're doing. So they're not.
So
obviously-
then
but
you
they're like,
see-
what if I scare Skylar? Because she.
Yeah.
She
So
now-
you see the dad start trying to wrestle out because now he's like, oh yeah, that scares him. So then she zooms out and it cuts back to Sky and Sadie.
Yeah.
And Sky and Zadie are they get to the party finally.
You don't know when they're about to reach the party. We see all the monsters. We see the Scarecrow. Then we see all their monsters. The Scarecrow, the book lady, she's kind of like a nun. We'll say that. She's kind of like a nun, kind of not. She's kind of like a witch nun. And then we see Dmpod, and Dmpod's like, I can't scare him yet because my powers ain't resurged yet. So Dmpod, she's like, I gotta go find somebody. So Dmpod heads over to Mara's house. Myra.
Well,
Mara.
it wasn't even her house. She was already in the house. She was sleeping in one of the beds in the mansion.
No, Myra was at the house yet.
Yeah, she was. She was sleeping in one of the beds in the mansion.
But I think she was at her house. It was all
No.
pink.
No, she was in one of the beds in the mansion.
You can edit that in later, because I'm pretty sure Myra was in her house.
No, she was in one of the beds in the mansion.
Whatever you say, Matt, because you denied before, and I'm pretty sure I'm 2-0 so far.
No, sir.
And then, so anyways, Myra, either way, Myra is there, and then she goes, she possesses her body, and now Myra's neck's fixed, and she's all red, she has red nails, she just looks like she just got the basic devil costume from the Halloween store. And she's like, okay, ready to go. Now Myra can talk, and Myra can move. But now Dmpod possesses Myra, and I think this is the best. Dmpod's pretty boring throughout the movie. She played what she had to do, but I think Myra is best when she is Dmpod, honestly. Because when I was watching the movie, it was the only time I wasn't like super bored with the villain. At least me personally. Would you say that, Matt?
No, I liked her throughout the whole movie. I think she was a good villain.
Yeah.
Myra too. I don't usually like the villain in general. I don't feel like they play it well. Nobody plays a villain extremely well.
Yeah, I could tell you a person that plays a villain extremely well in multiple movies, but for this one especially, yeah.
Like the last movie we did, freaking Harry Styles didn't play the villain well at all.
Well, he wasn't the villain.
He was the villain.
Well, he's kind of a villain.
He's
Okay,
kind
either
of a
way,
villain.
we'll talk.
And then
you can
this
go watch
movie, Myra, she didn't really play the villain well either.
The Black Phone played a good villain.
I don't think so either.
Okay, whatever you say.
There were multiple villains. Neither of them played it extremely well.
Okay, anyways, back to the movie.
Even to the movie.
Back to the movie. Myra is best as Dmpod, and Dmpod is not good at all. Either way, we're back to it, and she's sitting there, and then Sky sees Luke, and Luke is in this biker outfit. He's in a biker. Well, he don't have an outfit at all. Actually, I guess he's singing, but I put biker suit. Let's just call it that. He's doing his best Elvis impression. So he's like, okay, hey Sky, you're here. You ready to come sing? And then Sky's a little nervous because she lost her fear because when Dmpod became possessed, she is now like the one that's like, what's the word? She's the one that.
So Sky was in the back, and she because didn't they have a big scene before that where she found out her grandfather? This was her grandfather's mansion.
No, not yet. We see so Sky is here, and then when Sky is going up, she's like, okay, you ready to sing? And so Sky's going up, and she's about to sing, and I think they're about to sing "Had Me at a Low." I think.
No, she sings the same song as the beginning. Nothing's gonna stop me now. She sings "Fearless."
Oh, there's another song.
There's 3.
Well, okay. Oh yeah, it is this one. Yeah, but honestly, when she
I'm wrong. She sings "Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now."
Either way, when she sings it, it's the part where she's like kind of scared is the only part I like of Olivia Holt singing throughout this movie, because Olivia Holt actually sings without autotune. And then once she starts singing up, it's like what's the word? Bad. Not bad. It's just auto-tuned as hell.
I just wanna scream out loud. Nothing's gonna stop me now.
No, it was good. It was good. It's supposed to sound better. So they basically wanted to, as they're scared, they want it to sound worse.
Well, it sounds way better when she's scared.
The goal of that scene was to make it sound worse when she was scared, so no auto-tune, no nothing. But then once she gaining confidence, it starts sounding way better, more confident, more upbeat, more up tempo, make you feel good. Oh, okay, she's confident. So then Myra comes in with the red eyes. I think the red eyes is what triggered it, because Dmpod's colors are red.
She's looking at her and she's like,
because Dmpod's colors are red.
And then she gets,
because Dmpod's colors are red. She saw the red
said
eyes.
that 4 times.
And she saw the red eyes and she was like, oh shoot, that's my fear. So she So she goes and she runs off the stage and
she gets scared, and Myra's like, she stops singing because she sees her, and then what is it? Myra comes up and like,
she's like, stage
fright. Yeah, you get off. She's a stage fright. It's so cheesy. It is
stage fright.
And then Myra sings, and it's kind of like, the best way I can compare this artist, it kind of sounds like a mix between Pink and somebody else. Maybe Evermore.
It was like a rock, man.
But it was more like it sounded like a girl singing.
It was a guy.
It was a girl. I think it was like Pink. It's kind of like a punk Pink.
Yeah, Pink.
Nothing's gonna stop me now.
It just kind of sound like a guy a little bit.
So, like she has like that grungy kind of voice.
Guy like voice.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, she sings it.
I think they just had 2 and they just mixed them together.
Yeah, I think it's what they did. It definitely sounded like a mix between 2 people singing.
The guy was a little higher than the female.
But either way, it was. So when she's singing, she does like this whole performance, and it is. I think it's fearless.
It's Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, she's singing it, and she sings it like a pop punk version.
It was good.
It is what it is.
It was good. It was real good.
I think I enjoyed it for what it was. And then we got this is when she talks about the grandpas. She's like looking, and she sees that. Wait, this is where my grandpa used to live. Because she sees
Sadie, you see that?
You see that? It says McQuarrie's, whatever. So earlier on, not earlier on, like 10 minutes before this, when you see Luke Benworth and he's talking about how where's Olivia at, because Olivia hasn't been at the house yet, you can see the M on the top of the place they're singing, so it makes you aware that that's their place if you didn't catch it already, because they already showed the flashback scene with the house, and then it showed again with that attic. So if you didn't get to catch it already that they're in the same house, you saw the M. Because actually you don't know the parents are in the same house yet, but it's, unless you're like 12, you should know that already. You should know that they're captured in the same house. Unless you're like 12, you should know that they're captured already.
I didn't notice it.
But she's talking about it, right, to Sadie, and we need to, I don't know if she says that. She just finds out that they're there.
Yeah, so the part that I loved the most in this scene was like, Skylar's like, I'm going home. But Sadie's like, they kind of switch personalities. And you don't see that a lot in movies today. This is why I love this movie so much.
Movies today?
They switch personalities. So Sadie's like, okay, now I'm not scared. So she's hyping up the one that is scared. So she's like, all these people are depending on you because all the monsters are loose because you let them loose. So if you run away, they're just gonna be scared. They're gonna be like you're feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to go out there and save all these people
And face your fear.
Yeah, face your fear.
And then then this dude comes up, right? And the dude's like, I think Myra's done singing, and she's like, okay, yeah. She calls Luke trash. Like you're not anything.
Yeah.
And then she walks away, and Luke's like, what the fuck? Like,
Nope.
and then he looks at his bandmates, and they're like, I don't know what we do now. But everybody in the whole place is followers because they're cheering the fuck out of her. Like, great job. Like all of them are just clapping their ass off. And then it cuts to back over there to Olivia, and then they see this dude, and like I forget his name.
Sam.
Is Sam?
Yeah.
I can remember Sam's name, but you can't remember freaking I forgot Henry's name. So Sam's there, and
Sam wanted to cry, baby.
yeah, Sam's walking. He's like, "Hey, what y'all doing?" And she's like, "What happened to your feet?" Right?
Yeah.
And then Sam's chasing them through, and what's the word? He's chasing, and they finally figure out how to use the capture device, and they end
Yeah.
up teaming up and capturing the ghosts, and they call.
Uncle Cobb.
I always forget his freaking name, Uncle Cobb. They call Uncle Cobb, and they're like, we captured the monster. And then he's saying, like, we need more, though. And then he finally gets Henry unstuck, right?
Yeah. So he gives them that.
Poke in the ear,
mixes,
right?
He mixes these two chemicals together. They're probably just food coloring water.
Mm-hmm.
He taps it a little bit, gets some on his fingers, and he basically wet willies them in both ears.
Oh, yeah, that's what he does, yeah. And then he wakes up, and he's like, I can't go back there. But he's like, I think he says, like, I have to go back there because not, then I'm like, can I help you out? But he has to go save his friends because I can't, because Uncle Cobb's still trying to fix the machine so they can capture the monsters.
Yep.
And he's like, okay. So Henry gets some balls and finally starts taking them. And he takes the big one and the two small ones because they need more capture device. And then when they're what is it? He goes up. And I think the next thing we see is
Myra leaves.
Myra, yeah.
She leaves.
Dmpod
leaves
Myra's body. She's like, you're useless. And then
Start
she
to
falls
speak.
down the stairs again. And Myra's just sit there. But now she has her voice for some reason. So maybe I guess whenever she fixed part of her powers that she fixed her body. Because like even though she like fell on the ground, she can talk now.
Unless that voice sounded like that because she couldn't really talk.
Yeah, but she can talk. She sounded perfectly fine after she got out of the body. And she like just sat there like and couldn't move. But she just sat there because she was more of embarrassment than she's like, where are they? Like, can you help me find them? And she's like, they're up there after they captured the monster. So they go up there, and then the library monster or whatever they're called, she like goes and she's like, spell the word amnesty, something like that. It's something more complicated than the other words that she struggles with later on. And Sadie's like trying to say it, and she can't get the words out of her mouth. And does she mention her parents here? No, she don't mention them at all.
No.
Parents don't get mentioned.
It's the very end.
Yeah. So they figure out. What's the word? They figure that out, and then
They just go capturing all the monsters, basically.
yeah, they go downstairs, and then all the monsters start coming out because I forget why they leave. There's not really a reason. Demita, I guess, probably still doesn't have her powers yet. That's the reason. Because she scares Sadie. But then they head down.
The way she gets her powers is she scares Sky.
Uh-huh.
And Sky keeps gaining confidence.
Yeah.
After she gets scared, she keeps
Yeah,
gaining
because now
confidence.
she don't need a monster to back her fear.
Yeah.
And so we go downstairs, and all of them start going out. And the only part where I was like, oh, that looks kind of scary when I was rewatching this, you see a clown go to Luke Benworth's Asian bandmate, and it's like it actually looks like a scary clown. Everything else is kind of like comically like scary, but that one's actually like, oh, that could actually creep out a kid. And then Henry comes in. He's like, y'all gotta stop. All you gotta do is face your fear. And I think he tells Sadie too, like, all you gotta do is face your fear.
Yeah, because he was outside and he saw that scarecrow again.
Oh yeah. He goes to, before he reaches the inside, he sees a scarecrow, and it's kind of like It too, where they like how they bully him, like they're grown up, and how they bully Pennywise. They just kind of tell him like, we're not scared of you. That's all they say, and then he like shrinks down into like a puddle. So that's kind of what they do. That's what he does to the scarecrow. He's like, I'm not scared of you anymore. And I kind of feel bad for the scarecrow. The scarecrow's like, you're not scared of me? And he just turns to a head, right?
The pumpkin head.
Yeah. And then Henry comes in. He's saying, like, you need to go and stop him. And you got to, like, face your fears.
Yeah.
And Olivia sees the mic. And then she starts running down.
Because her fear stage fright.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, you need to get everybody outside. And she tells Luke that.
And he tells Luke, your guitar is wireless, right? And he's like,
yeah.
He just, you don't even say anything. He just
Duh.
walks. He's like, yeah. And he walks and he goes. And all the
Oh, because he's taking over at that point.
Not yet. She runs out, and once she runs out, because Luke ain't running with them, and then Demita goes inside Luke, and then we go inside, and at some point, I don't know where we see this. I think maybe in the parent scene we see a flashback. I'm just gonna add it now because I don't remember where it is, and I know we're getting towards the end of this movie. We see a flash. What the fuck? We see a flashback of freaking. Peter's really hurt himself in this podcast.
Cramp, dude.
Bro, come on now. Anyways, we see a flashback. It's probably you probably had that cramp because you saw how weird.
That flashback was.
It was like freaking. We see the mom and the dude looks exactly the same. The dad looks exactly the same. We see the mom, and to make her younger, because we have de-aging in 2022.
Yeah.
But in this movie, they just put bangs on her and add long hair. It's so childishly like.
They changed the color. They changed it to like blonde or something.
Yeah, and they changed like the frame a little bit later, and it shows like Demita capturing her, and it's like how they captured Demita right before she got out, and I'm like. I told Matt, I was like, they really gave like zero effort on this. They couldn't even like hide her face sorta to like capture her. They just like put bangs and long hair. Like, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, that came in a long while ago.
Yeah,
right after Demita got released.
It happened. It's came somewhere in there, but I thought it was funny because it looked childishly bad. So she's running out, and when she gets to the middle, she's about to start singing, and freaking Luke comes up and is like. You suck.
Yeah.
You're bad. You can't ever sing.
So then again, dude, this you'd probably like this first part of this song because it was her again with no upbeat music.
Yeah, and she's like, and she starts singing it, and he's like, "You're bad again, right?" Because
she was singing "Fearless," so she's like, "I'm stuck in your head." Something. So she's back from the dead, talking about the monster.
And then
got me running scared.
And he's like, he says he's bad one more time. She's like, you gotta fight it, Luke. Say something you're scared of. And what is?
Oh, you skipped a bunch, because it goes to Sadie. In it, she's like, spell goat.
That's afterwards.
Nope, it's first.
Afterwards.
I have it written first.
Okay.
So she goes to Sadie, and she's like, spell goat.
I skipped a bunch. We missed a goat.
And she goes, G-A-O, and she's like, the monster. She's like, oh,
no, she spells it wrong.
She spells it wrong.
And then she goes again.
So Sky starts singing. She's starting to sing. She's about to hit the chorus, and Luke goes, stop. And you see them red eyes again. So Sky notices. First, she was kind of hurt. She was like, wow. The guy I'm dreaming over freaking just told me I suck, basically, to stop because it sucks so bad.
Yeah, but then she had a feeling, though. But she says, Luke, you gotta...
the red eyes.
Yeah, Luke, you gotta get him out. Yeah. It's the same scene, Matt. I didn't skip anything over.
But because it's important because she misspelled it that first time, and then after she sees Sadie... After Sadie sees Sky crush Luke's ghost, and then she's like, "Oh, I can spell it now." Afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're the same scene.
No,
they're side by side though.
But you can't say it afterwards.
Yeah, but they're side by side. Anyways,
I'm saying it happened first.
You're getting mad over the dumbest thing. Anyways, she finally spells goat, and then the monster's like, "Oh, she kind of more. I think she's more proud of her than anything because she finally spells it, and then she shrivels down, right? Or does she just shrivels down, right? Their main monsters they never really capture.
Which one?
The glasses girl. Sadie's monster.
She like explodes. I don't know what she did.
Yeah.
She exploded.
I think she just shrivels down. Like her like.
Nah, she exploded.
Okay.
Yeah, I've exploded on.
Oh, you have explosion?
Yeah, I've exploded on.
Well, yeah, that's probably what happens. She was tried to use her Volturb and not use Fly, so it didn't work. And then freaking, it goes back to Luke, and she's like, "Say something you're fear of," and then Luke goes, "Well,
Sky starts singing it. Oh yeah, after Luke asks her out. And she says yes.
She says, "Will you date me?" And then Sky's like, "Oh, that's the easiest question ever."
Yeah.
And then for some reason they have a dance musical, so they start singing, and they're just having all the.
I'm stuck in your head. I'm back from the dead. Got you running scared.
Dances.
Everyone's not scared anymore.
Everyone's doing like their weird dance. Olivia does like a freaking an Eddie Guerrero shake for some reason, and they do the whole dance number of "Stuck in Your Head." Right? I'm back from the dead. Like fearless.
I'm fearless. Yeah.
And then after they're done singing, gladly Demita says it. Demita's like, "Good with your dance." At least she's aware of what happened. She's like, "I'm glad of your dance number." And then after the dance number, they're like, "But you forgot about your parents." And your
Aren't
parents
you missing a couple of parents?
Yeah. So she captures up, and they're at the high tower. And then oh, we gotta get my parents. Like, sorry, hunky Luke, let's go. And so all of them go up the stairs. It's Olivia, Henry, and Sadie. They head up the thingy, and they're all trying to shoot her up, right? And they're kind of they're kind of just going up the ladder, not the ladder, but like the house itself. They start going up there, and I think she's in the sky, and then she says something like, "Oh, I'll put down my weapon once we get to the summit," because like the parents are falling down, right? Because they're at the top, and then they finally they're on the rope.
Yeah, she was holding them, and then she threw them on the roof.
I think they got back up actually.
Because she goes, "We'll do a swap.
Yeah.
You take me, and then you drop the parents."
And then once the parents get back on the top, freaking, she tries to. She gets the gun and shoots her, and it's like, you really tried down me like I would work or something. And then the parents fall, and then the dad captures like the ledge like that, and the dad has, for a comically long time, like this scene after this, like 5 minutes of just the dad having his arm, like he has as like the biggest strength of his life. You know what I'm saying, Matt? Because how do you hold on for that long? And he's also holding his wife, bro. Like, there's no way in hell you don't die. Your arm can hold it for 5 minutes, but you know.
Could.
5 minutes holding at least a 150 is what she is at minimum.
225.
We don't body shame here. Either way, there's no way in hell he's capturing. You can't hold someone down for 5 minutes, but they let it play like that. And so then she has like the Dmpod has like a Hydra kind of monster. You know what Hydra is? Thing with multiple heads, because she has 3 heads, and you can tell it's just green screen on. And then Olivia's, it's not working their things because the parents are afraid that Olivia can't do it. I think that's what's kind of established there.
They're part of the freaking reason that the monster is getting bigger too.
Mm-hmm. And then, sorry, I thought you were gonna keep going.
Oh no, I was just confirming what you said.
Yeah, totally. Henry goes and he's trying to get the big thing to work, and that ain't working either. And when and then eventually, once the parents finally say, "Okay, I trust you," and I think he's more like, "I trust you, so we don't fall to our death." And then they all shoot the comically big bazooka cannon. Sadie uses the capture device, and Olivia uses her ray gun thingy, and they all capture Dmpod after
They attack at
the
same
parents.
time. It was too much.
The parents after the parents believe, they capture him, and they're talking about how like they're happy. Oh yeah, we captured the monster, and they're like, "Hey, can you come get us?" Because they're having like the big moment, and they finally get what is it? The parents up, and they're like, "Okay, thank you." And then after that, what do we have next, Matt?
She talks about raising the curfew and how she started having that curfew, and then they all meet up. Then it switches to that song, "Have Me at Hello." With
Yeah, it goes
her.
again. It's weird because it's in the garage.
'Cause I'm so good to
It's just in the garage again.
Yeah, I think that was like
I feel like that was definitely shot at the same time.
I think that was like an after shot. No, she was wearing different clothes, but
Yeah, no, I'm saying like
He was wearing the
in
same
the
thing.
actual thing, they're probably shot at the same time.
because I think it was like an after. You know how the movie sometimes if you put like a blooper reel. I think that was like an blooper reel type deal.
No, it wasn't a blooper reel.
It wasn't a blooper
it was
reel,
part
but-
of the movie.
No, I don't think it was.
No, it was. It was actually part of the movie.
I don't think it was.
It-
but because they were rolling,
In the movie,
they were
the
rolling-
credits don't roll till after the
They were
movie.
rolling credits already.
Once the things start playing. Either way, they sing, and they're singing "Have Me at Low," but this time it's with Luke Benworth, with Olivia, and with Myra.
And then they were showing the friends sticking up to their fears.
Yeah, and it's-
She public speaking. She went out there.
Oh yeah, and he goes and he Henry he like
He stands up to the bully.
yeah sends the bully, and bully's like, whoa, like
Yeah.
he was about to get robbed. And then Luke Benworth starts singing "Had Me at a Low," and that's the best part of the movie. And that's how it ends. You want to go ahead and like give like a theme of what you want to give a sneak peek of what you said in the podcast, "The Peters Won't Stop."
Yeah, it was more than the last 3 quotes at the end, right? How they talked about basically overcoming your fears, because if you let fears take you over, you're just an autopilot. You'll freeze up. You'll never do anything. So you just need to conquer your fear, go out there and do what you want to do, and not worry about it. Don't worry about it what anybody says, anyone thinks. Just do what you want to do and do it your way. All about you.
Yeah, that's a good way.
That's everyone.
That's a good way to close this movie, as per se. Okay,
Cartoon.
now time. So usually we do ratings before we do like the actual like before we end it. But
Let's give it a rating.
no, we're not doing a rating yet. We're gonna do rankings of "Had Me at a Low." Who sings the best "Had Me at a Low"? We'll go by Myra, Luke, and Olivia. So who do you have in third place?
Myra.
Myra, yeah. Second place,
Luke.
Olivia. First,
Olivia.
obviously Luke. Luke is the best part of this movie easily. If we had to if there's any reason to watch it, it's Luke Benworth.
It's definitely to hear them 3 songs.
Yeah.
Give you that.
If we had to put the ranking, it's Had Me at a Low. It's easily the best song.
I think I like Fearless a little more.
Yeah, the other one's definitely the least, but it's only heard once, so.
Twice. But
You had your voice cracked. But yeah, that's a ranking of the songs if you really want to know those. And then we got for your rating, what would you rate it?
probably 89.
89.
Yeah.
I'd rate it. I'd rate it a solid 45.
Well, crap.
Okay. It was 45.
You're just hating on it because.
No, I genuinely watched it the first time. I genuinely forgot everything. I forgot everything.
Because you were tired.
No, it wasn't even tired. I've watched plenty of movies tired, and even this time when I was watching, I was like, okay, I kind of get it more. It just doesn't interest me. There's nothing that really connects to me besides the singing.
I think it was better than Elvis. I think it was better than Black Phone. Better than Don't Worry, Darling. I think the only movie we've done a review on that's better than this one was Power Rangers.
Totally.
I think so.
Write it down in the comments if you think this is the best movie we've done so far.
I want to go back.
I think Elvis might be actually after.
I want to go back at the end of the year and get both of our movies and go through all the videos and put the actual rankings we did to see where they actually rank among each other.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they don't even get. They're all over the place.
Yeah, they're all over the place. But the next one we should have out. Actually, I don't know when Girl vs. Monster come out, so I'm not gonna say what the next movie will be. It'll probably be it definitely will be a non-Spooktober movie because we're trying to do 1 and 1 throughout this month. You can find us on YouTube and Instagram at the Dmpod and YouTube and TikTok on the Dmpod. You can find us on the Dmpod underscore the Dmpod underscore on what is it on Twitter and Instagram. You can.
What the heck happened there?
Oh, we've got the D. Don't worry about it. The Dmpod. You know where to go.
Oh yeah.
You can find Matt on the Peters Won't Stop podcast on all platforms such as Spotify and Apple, right?
Yes.
And goodbye. Be safe.